So I have just received news from the demonlist team that my method of getting a really high refresh rate in Geometry Dash is in fact list susceptible, and I will now be explaining how cheap and easy it is to do and what this will bring to the player community. So I used an HDMI to VGA adapter in order to pull all of this off. It probably costs under $10 for most people, but I am not sure if it works for everyone yet because I've only tried it on my computer. However, I doubt that it will be much different for anyone else with a different graphics card or anything. It's probably just a different workaround or something like that. And I'll also have to figure out what HDMI to VGA adapter I actually got, because this is one that I just pulled out of some random box in my house that was bought by my dad a while ago. And so I'm not particularly sure what specific ones support it and where you should buy them from. But I'm going to assume that most of them are going to be very cheap, and most of them are probably going to be able to pull this off, because the thing about this adapter is it's literally not plugged into anything. It's literally just an adapter plugged into your graphics card with nothing else on it. However, the thing is, my computer detects that adapter as a display, even though there's nothing actually displaying, because it's not plugged into anything. And because of this, you can exploit it and make it display some random really high hertz. Mine is 499 because I think the chip caps out at 499. But you can basically just get it to a really high hertz, and if you set it to your main monitor, Geometry Dash will in fact open at that refresh rate, because it always defaults to the refresh rate of the main monitor. So as long as you set your random fucking adapter as your main monitor and then open Geometry Dash while it is active as the main monitor, then it will set your FPS cap to a really high value that you set on your adapter. And this will persist even after you unplug it, because obviously you don't want your main monitor to be completely fucking invisible, because you can't see shit on an adapter not plugged into anything. But once you open it, you can literally just unplug it and have your Geometry Dash run at 499 FPS or whatever the hell FPS value that you put in for the entire rest of the session. So it's really great. It's only like $2-3. I'm gonna have to figure out the rest of the details, but you've already seen a showcase of me using it in Geometry Dash. You can see how big the fucking orbs pulse. I have noticed that ship and wave are much easier, and it's a great improvement, obviously. And for people who don't have high refresh rate monitors, I expect it to be even bigger of an improvement. A lot of people might not be able to run specifically 499 hertz, but there's this application called River Tuner that you can use in order to limit your frame rate. So even if you're not getting up to the 499 FPS that I'm getting to, you can probably get up to 144, 240, something like that, just with River Tuner with limits. So the important thing here is just being able to trick Geometry Dash into opening at a higher refresh rate. Doesn't really matter what refresh rate, because you can customize anything below that. But I think this is a great find, and it will help a lot of players who either don't have the money to buy a high refresh rate monitor, don't want to shell out the money to buy a high refresh rate monitor, or can't actually run a high refresh rate monitor but can still get a couple more frames in Geometry Dash. So yeah, I will be trying to refine this method so everyone can use it. If anyone wants to help me, you can reach out to me on my Discord, pi number 1593, and hopefully we'll get some more out of this really cool thing that I found. So I have just discovered that my method shown in the last video, where I got 499 FPS in Geometry Dash, is list susceptible. And so I'm going to be showing you how I pulled that off. So here I have an HDMI to VGA adapter, which is literally the only thing you need in order to do this. I don't know about other setups right now, but I think we'll probably be able to find other methods to do this on every PC. So I'm going to plug this in and show you how this works, okay? So if you plug this in, plug this in, and then the screen changes a bit. You open Geometry Dash, and when it opens, you can unplug the thing right here. Let me put it up here, right there. You can see I have 499 FPS. If you look at my graphics settings, no VSync off. and I'm not using bypass. So yeah, and all of this was accomplished with only this little tool right here. And this, I'm pretty sure, costs less than $10 to buy anywhere. So it's really great. You don't need a high refresh rate monitor. I do have one. I have 144 hertz, but you can have whatever the fuck monitor you have and get however high, like basically infinite frames, like the greatest amount of frames anyone has ever had legitimately in this game, in the history of this game ever, for only $2-3. And you know, you don't have to buy some expensive $200, $400, $600 monitor just to get more frames in Geometry Dash. So I think this is great. I think that a lot of players will get much better now just because they have this nice little trick under their like under their belt, and they'll be able to do a ton of new good cool things with this. Like, people are gonna get much better at the game, I think, with like much less money needed. So yeah.